Hello, my dear student. Assalamu alaikum. Hope you all are quite okay and fine. Welcome you all to my today online class. Before going to start my today's lecture, first of all, I would like to introduce myself to all of you. I am Muhammad Ghulam Morshed, lecturer of biology, Milestone College, Uttara Dhaka. Now let's discuss about our today's lecture. Today I am going to discuss about chapter 4, the blood and blood circulation. Today I am going to discuss about a very important topics, that is the blood coagulation mechanism. Okay. If you look at the figure, this is the fibrin thread. This is the blood coagulation process, fibrin polymer thread. The learning output after completing this lesson, students should be able to tell the definition of blood clotting, explain the process of blood clotting. So now first of all, I would like to discuss about the blood coagulation. Blood coagulation or thrombogenesis is a complex process by which the blood forms clot to block and then heal cut and stop bleeding. Actually, blood clotting mechanisms, actually in the plasma there are actually soluble fibrinogen proteins are actually present. But if this soluble fibrinogen protein is converted into insoluble fibrin, then blood will be clotted. Okay, so the main mechanism is to conversion of the soluble fibrinogen into insoluble fibrin monomer, and then some of the fibrin monomer are connected with each other to form a fibrin network like fibrin net. Okay. Now the factors. Actually, blood clotting factors, there are 13 clotting factors which are associated in blood clotting mechanism. These are the fibrinogen, prothrombin, thromboplastin, calcium ion, procalcitonin, proaxillerin, does not exist, 6, proconvertin, anti-hemophilic factor A, Christmas factors, anti-hemophilic factor B, anti-hemophilic factor C, Hegman factors, and fibrin stabilizing factors. These are the 13 factors which are most important factor for blood coagulation mechanism. Now the process. Blood coagulation process is very complex process, but I'm trying to explain the process briefly. Okay. Now when any injury occurred, the platelet in the injured area produce a special types of enzyme which is known as thromboplastin, and this thromboplastin actually binds with the prothrombin. It's one kind of plasma protein that normally exists in the plasma. So the thromboplastin actually activate the inactive prothrombin into active thrombin in presence of the calcium ion and factor 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. Now after formation of the prothrombin, this prothrombin actually converts the fibrinogen, which is one of the most important plasma protein. So the prothrombin actually converts this inactive fibrinogen into active fibrin. Okay. So the fibrin is a insoluble protein, and some of the fibrin monomer are connected with each other to form a fibrin polymer. So the platelet and different blood cells are actually enmeshed in the fibrin net. So as a result, blood will be clotted within a very short period of time. Okay. So this is the very simple mechanism of blood coagulation process. Now I am going to discuss about another very important factors, the why blood does not clot inside the vascular system. Okay. There are so many causes behind this. Now some of the most important factors will be discussed here today. Number one, the body always maintains continuous speedy movement of the blood. Okay, this is the one of the most important uh, causes. That's why the blood does not clot inside the vascular system. And the human bloods, and number two, the human bloods and other tissue have 50 different types of factors or components that affect the blood clotting mechanism. These are actually categorized into two groups. Procoagulant factors influence the blood clotting, and the anticoagulant factors actually prevent the blood clotting process. Okay. Uh, Actually, blood clotting depends on the balance between these factors. Normally, there is a anticoagulant factors uh, act as a uh, anticoagulant factor act as a dominant role over the recessive procoagulant factors. Okay, that's why blood never clotted inside the blood vessel. Okay, and number four, the smoothness of the endothelium. And number five, presence of the natural anticoagulant like heparin. As you know that the heparin is a natural anticoagulant agent that actually produced from the heparin, one kinds of uh, produced from monocyte, produced from this heparin is actually produced from the uh, basophil cells. It's one kinds of granulocytic white blood cell. Okay, and number six, the always removal of activated clotting factors by liver. Okay, these are the most important factor. That's why blood does not clot inside the vascular system. Okay, now the homeworks. Why blood does not clot inside the vascular system? Thank you for your patient sharing. I think today's lecture was very much effective lecture for all of us. I am humble requesting you all to watch my video lecture for several times so that you can understand each and every topic that have already discussed here today. If you have any queries regarding my today's lecture, feel free to ask me, or you can also ask your respective subject teacher. Thank you all. Khuda Hafiz.